Oh, crap, I'm reviewing Dark Souls? Greetings, people of Earth! Welcome to Games That Time Forgot. It's October here, and this time around we're looking at Bound by Flame, put out in 2014 by Spiders! And Focus Interactive. This is a bit more recent than most of the games we cover here, but when it came out, it got overlooked mostly as a Witcher clone, which is equally a, well, duh moment, and also kinda sad. Let's take a look. You are Vulcan. And it doesn't matter what you change the name to, he or she will always be Vulcan. A mercenary living in the crapsack world of Vertiel, which is besieged by the 9 Ice Lords. There used to be more, but more on that later. Your company, the Freeborn Blades, are protecting the Red Scribes from the Ice Lords in an attempt to win the war, or at least survive long enough to win the war. Things, however, do not go as planned, and Vulcan gets a demon inside of them, giving them the power to overcome their enemies, face the odds, and eventually topple the Ice Lords. But it's a demon, so possibly at the cost of, your humanity and soul and whatever you got going on. Joining Vulcan on this quest, you have the Elven Archer, the Lady Mage, the Evil Lady Mage, and the Knight who sounds kind of Eastern European and speaks in the third person most of the time, but it kind of drops out, so he'll refer to himself by first person, which, okay, minor complaint, sure, but it kind of broke the character. Anywho, this cast of characters will help you through twists, turns, a legally distinct from Hugo Weaving Elf King, and facing, the end result and telling you, well, you can help humanity, or you can give into your darker side and give into the voices in your head and give into bathing the world in flames. Also, there's Matthias, the Lich historian fella. Anyway, he's like the coolest character in the game as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so let's take a look at gameplay. It's kinda slow and clunky. Eventually you just pretty much pick the style you like and you go with it. It doesn't feel like it's meant to be mixed up and cool, with on-the-fly switching between, magic and melee. The most you can expect is, the melee added a fire sword or fire daggers. I was a fire dagger myself. But meanwhile, the Hadouken move takes so long to pull off that by that time you've been swarmed by the little guys you didn't kill yet. It's just frustrating. And yeah, you can say the game itself is derivative. It feels a lot like The Witcher. And you're stuck with the standard fantasy tropes of elves are really good archers, the girls are really good at magic, swords hurt. Sure. And I'm even fine with them bringing in the newer quote-unquote dark fantasy references, like the fact that this totally feels like a Witcher game, to the point that most of the dialogue to show people how tough you are involves dropping the F-bomb or, look, cussing is fine in games. There's a reason I don't do it on this show, but I do it in my daily life with a regularity that depresses me. And I did appreciate the fact that it was really just the soldiers, the fightin' folk, who were cussing with some regularity. Also getting drawn from the new dark fantasy thing is the fact that it also feels kind of like Game of Thrones, if, winter came. You have your evil necromancers coming out of the frozen north with zombies to take over the world of the living, weird sexual connotations, the fact that dwarves and elves, one of those things, real. The other one in this world, not real, which I thought was a neat little conceit. One bone to pick that I have to touch on because I noticed it instantaneously is the voice acting. Male Vulcan sounds fairly standard. Bit gruff, sounds like he drinks a lot and maybe eats cigarettes. And the demon voice for him sounds demonic. Serviceably demonic. Not quite Tim Curry in Legend, but still like it's evil and coming from him. The voice for female Vulcan, however, just sounds kind of whiny, and it made the female demon Vulcan voice sound, well, ask your mom to read you a scary story sometime, kids, and you'll get what I'm getting at. When she does the spooky, scary voice, that still you're there going, oh, that's just my ma. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. Wasn't really the best. Then there's the captain, who's desperately trying to sound like Sean Connery, the Freeborn Blades, who sound either American or Australian, depending on which one you talk to, the elves, who are of course British, and Matthias, who, okay, personal note, sounded uncomfortably like my existential philosophy in art and literature professor from my time in university, which was just creepy for me. But all that aside, I probably am going to replay it at some point just to get, the full experience. So is the game worth your time? Yes, it is. It's worth your time, and you can pick it up in the bargain bin, and it's a steal. Well, anyway, that's it for Games That Time Forgot. I have been October. As usual, don't have a catchphrase, but please be sure to share, like, subscribe, check out the other videos here, like our Let Us Plays, or our dashing through the insert title of game here. I wasn't supposed to read that part. Oops. And until next time, later, people of Earth. That's all I got.